This example is bringing in data that the user has typed, and we are using the parse conversion methods here, and it is also using string interpolation. You'll notice that we always prompt the user for what we want them to do, and that is followed by a read line statement. And read line, console.readline, readline is a method, and what it's going to return is a string. Okay? And if what you are storing is a string, then you don't have to do anything special. You just create your variable, set it equal to console.readline. If what you are returning is anything else, okay, if it is not a string, then you do have to convert the data before you store it. So we're asking them for the movie rating. We're storing that as a character. And so what we have to do is we have to use the parse method. Okay, and we precede the parse method with the data type. So char.parse, and then we have parentheses, and inside the parentheses, we put console.readline. So it's going to pull in the character from the console, and that character is going to be here. And at this point, it's going to be a string. Okay, and then we pass that string to char.parse, which converts it over into a single character, and that single character is then stored. How many tickets are you purchasing? So this is going to be an integer. So it's kind of the same procedure. We are going to read the value from the console, and when it reads the value, it is a string. So let's say they entered the number 10. Okay, at this point, 10 is a string. And so we take that value, that string that we read in, and we pass it to int.parse. And int.parse then converts that into an integer number. And it returns that integer number, and we are storing it in the ticket variable. Okay, and the same operation works for double. Okay, we take the value that is returned as a string, and we pass it to double.parse, which converts that string into a double value, and we return it and store it. To print all of this out, we are using string interpolation, which allows us to have a single set of double quotes. And then we just enter the text the way we want it to display. And in curly braces, we enter the variable whose value we want displayed. And the last write line is a little trickier because we want text with a formatted output. And you can't put string.format inside your string interpolation because that will not work. So what you do is you use the string interpolation for anything else, that you want to print. So if there's other variables, you can still put those in curly braces. Anything you want to print, you use string interpolation for. And then at the point that you want that formatted output, you use the concatenator, and then you have string.format. And then inside the parentheses, you pass string.format the appropriate arguments. And in this case, we are passing along the formatting for currency. We've got the comma. This is the value that we want to print. And the value that you want to print can either be any numeric variable, or it can be the result of an equation. In this case, it's going to format the result of the equation. This second example is identical to the first. The only difference is that instead of using char.parse, we are using convert.toChar. And instead of using int.parse, we are using convert.toInt32. Here we've got convert.toDouble. Now, is one better than the other? They are interchangeable. I think the convert methods are a little harder to remember because with, int parse, double parse, it's the data type, all in lowercase, just the same way you use it when you're declaring the variable. It's dot and then a capital P in parse. With the convert methods, the C is capitalized, the T in to is capitalized, and then the data type itself is capitalized. And then for integers, not only do you have to put int, but you have to remember to put 32 on the end. So I think the convert methods are a little harder to remember, but they accomplish the exact same task as the parse methods.